Hello and welcome. Today I'm in the Tier 8 Japanese carrier Taiho. The enemy team also has a carrier, but it's just a Ryujo. This is an older game, before I got the Taiho, but I thought it was still pretty nice. Nicer than anything else I had, really. And it's on the map north, and I decided to get closer to enemies. I even told my team where I was going with my ship, namely into the gap, after I get away from that island, that is. My first priority is to try to hunt the Ryujo with my torpedo and dive bombers, and I simply just fly through their entire team, because they probably don't have that much anti-air, since this was fairly early on in the beta. So it's mostly just Atagos and similar. On top of that, I saw where the Ryujo's bombers were, so I more or less knew where he was. The idea is to try to hit him once and then set him on fire again, as usual. Sadly, there's an Atago close to him though, which could stop my plans from being as effective. On top of that, the Ryujo actually turns pretty nicely, and she's a short ship, so meh, we'll see.
Group 3, we're under attack. Group 4, returning to ship. Group 2, returning.
Well, it was pretty well played by the Ryujo player. I would have expected 2 of those, that is 6 of those, to hit instead of just 3, but I guess it's not that bad, since I did do a whole bunch of damage.
Group 6, awaiting instructions.
I don't know why none of the cruisers actually activated their abilities to try to stop the torpedo bomber drop, but they didn't. These 2 fighters are quite annoying though. Luckily they both engaged on one ship, on one group. And unfortunate that there's only one fire. This might not kill the Ryujo actually. However, since I'm going closer and closer, I'm a bit annoyed that my team got wiped out here in this gap, since I planned to go there with my ship myself. And I complain about it in chat as well. I mean, they only killed the destroyer and lost 3 people there. How? Actually, they lost 4, but you know. Mind-boggling, which means that I'm in a bit of a bad position right now. I figured they would survive. I pull my dive bombers back because I don't want them to interfere with my torpedo bombers taking off, which are just more important. So I just pull them back, fly them around a little, and then land after the torpedo bombers have taken off. I think my priority is dealing with the cruisers that are next to this island. And perhaps it would be a good idea to finish off the Ryujo as well, although he's tying up 2 enemy cruisers, so maybe not that important. It would be pretty unfortunate if one of these cruisers came and suddenly started attacking me.
We're under attack.
Like this cruiser, but he's afraid of my torpedo bomber, luckily. So he turned away instead of coming closer to me. I think that was a mistake, but you know. Might not be, since he's in Atlanta, he might actually be able to avoid 1 torpedo bomber group. And he did. I did a bit of a poor drop, that is, I could have done better, but you know.
Stand by for instructions. Over.
It happens.
Awaiting instructions.
I didn't really know where to go with my ship, so I just stopped in the middle of nowhere, which is a terrible idea. Please do not do that. Start running away the moment you see that the situation is bad. So I use my dive bombers to maybe get the lucky shot on the Atlanta and kill him, but I'm not holding my breath for it. And I didn't kill him. Luckily, I hope the friendly destroyer is able to finish him off. I mean, we're pretty far behind right now. 6 dead against their 1 destroyer. I think I'll be able to finish the Ryujo though, so at least it'll give us something. And the Atlanta died, luckily. Thank you, Mr. Destroyer. Who died in turn though, which is unfortunate, I guess, but you know, it's not that bad. I do both of the drops because there's the Omaha who might get hit, which will be useful.
Enemy aircraft carrier destroyed.
And the Omaha did get hit. I like how this little channel is like a graveyard of ships. Imagine if not all ships sunk and some floated around. That place would be blocked off from all the shipwrecks. Yeah, I wanted a quick win. I guess I didn't get what I wanted, since there are so many enemies left and so few allies. They're all so far away from me. But luckily they aren't close, that is, enemies aren't close. That Otago turned exactly the way to take more torpedoes, but the 1 torpedo bomber who would have made the 3rd hit was shot down, so it never happened. Oh, the Otago used his ability, so I'm pulling back. I'm going for some other target, I guess. There was some cruiser coming around the island here, which is kind of a priority, really, because he's getting close enough to be able to fire at me. But he's a cruiser. Dive bombing him is really annoying, especially if he has that fighter up. Oh, it's a Furutaka though, so I just feel bad for him because he's playing a Furutaka.
Group 5 taking fire. Group 7, we're under attack. Group 7 engaging enemy. Group 7 returning to ship.
Group 2 ready.
Ooh, I shot down the fighter with a dive bomber. Excellent.
Beginning present course. Group 3 ready for takeoff.
But it's dive bombers against the cruiser. I don't hope for that much. This was a bit of actually not. The drop was pretty good against the cruiser anyway. I'm hoping torpedo bombers will do more work though. 3 allied ships against 7 enemies. That's a bit bad.
Group 2 taking fire.
I think part of this drop is a bit too close. Yep, it was. That's unfortunate. If that one had hit, this would have already been a kill. But I imagine he's going to die to the damage over time effects.
We destroyed an enemy cruiser.
Because he was on fire and flooded. So both of them together killed him. I like how... I think he's annoyed, although I'm a bit surprised why. I mean, it's a tier 8 carrier and he's like a tier 5 cruiser. Why? It's not a balance issue, it's a matchmaking issue at this point. I decided to do the quick drop because the fighter engaged, but it was just a poor one. Although one he did hit further away cruiser, so I guess it's not a complete loss. But it was a bad idea in general. Should not have done that drop. I'm so far away by now that it's not the that big of a deal for me to keep running, I think. Since I need all the firepower I can get to try to finish these cruisers and battleship off. And since I'm out of threat range and they don't have any sneaky destroyers, it's probably okay for me to stand still there for a little. Since I can just start running the moment I start seeing them get close. I mean, my top speed is similar to theirs, so I should be able to run away if the need arises. And since they're getting closer, I start my engines up.
Group 7, we're under attack.
I don't like dive bombing cruisers, so I'm trying to... I already set this Warspite on fire, I think. So I'll try to burn him down now. And finishing off that low HP Atago would be good as well, I think.
Group 4, we're under attack.
But these cruiser-borne fighters are really annoying. My god. They're like playing the Taiho is so much better in a situation like this because you have that one fighter squadron available, which just clears out these immediately, and it makes it so much better. These fighters are really powerful. I mean, this wasted a good 20 seconds on the cycling of this torpedo bomber group alone. And the other issue with them is that even if you actually sink the ship, the fighter is still there. But it seems the Atago... Wait, no, never mind. I wanted to say the Atago used his ability, but no, it was the fighter that engaged. I mess up a little here, again, because of the fighters. Look at that, how many times this one fighter has made my drops become messed up. And there really is no countermeasure to this unless you get either lucky, like I did right now, which finally killed it, or you run a completely different plane layout at these tiers. At higher tiers it's completely fine though, because then you just have fighters on every loadout, but you don't at these tiers. And the Atago outplayed me a little as well by slowing down, which made my hit be pretty poor. So my ship has turned around, which means I should probably turn around again to be able to run away, since there's only me and one allied cruiser left. There's 4 enemies, and 3 are within weapons range, so if they detect me, I'm screwed. At this moment I'm pretty annoyed by these cruiser and battleship launched fighters. And yeah, I do think they are one-click wonders. I mean, think of the trouble I'm having with them. I can't even imagine what less experienced carrier players think about this. At this point, decapping becomes important as well. That Atago did a pretty good dodge. If he took another torpedo, he would have been dead. I'm actually surprised my friendly cruiser is still alive. He's been focused by the enemies for quite a while now.
Group 3, we're under attack.
I'll leave the low HP Atago to my friendly cruiser.
Taking fire.
which was a good idea. Missed the tomato.
Two, waiting instructions.
Actually, right now would have been a perfect idea to attack the Warspite with my torpedo bombers. I had the perfect shot lined up from that side. At least it looked that way. And the Atago only took one, so would have been a better shot, I think.
Group 3, returning.
And the cruiser born fighters again.
Group 2, target destroyed.
5. We're under attack.
Well, I got lucky again.
Group 4, ready. Group 2, returning to ship.
Praise the rare gunners and those torpedo bombers.
Returning to ship.
Group 4, airborne.
Sadly, my friendly cruiser has died.
You are the last hope.
Yes, I was already aware of that. 3 enemies. Luckily, the tomato is going to time out,
Cruiser foundered.
so it's just a Warspite and the New Mexico. Trouble is, I don't know where the New Mexico is. I can't see him on the map, and I don't remember the last time I saw him on the map.
Ready for takeoff.
And there's only 2 minutes left.
4, taking fire.
This is...
Maintaining present.
I have to go look for him. It's more important than killing this Warspite.
Group 3, maintaining present course. Group 4, returning.
I mean, I don't know how much HP he has either. If he has full HP, I might not be able to kill him in time. I asked my team, maybe they remember where more or less he could be. Oh, at least I found him. Thank you. Thank you, planes.
Group 7. We're under attack.
Destroyed an enemy battleship.
Okay, 1 minute 20 seconds to kill New Mexico at 70% HP. Can I do it? Yes, no, yes, no. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty close too. And the general consensus about carriers is that carriers are super overpowered, that they kill everything in one shot, so I guess I'm fine, right?
Returning to ship.
And a bit of a fail drop. One did hit though, so I did get my flooding. He hasn't used his repair though, but I will be doing attacks over and over, staggered, so it doesn't really matter when he repairs. He will be taking a ton of damage over time effects anyway. Since I'm so close, I'll be constantly cycling planes.
Maintaining present course.
Group 5.
Although his turning is pretty annoying. I mean, that's pretty useful against torpedo bombers. You should be turning this way, but I don't have any time, so I just tried to make it as quick as possible, but I don't have enough time. And time ran out. Oh well, I guess carriers aren't as OP as the general public seems to think. At least I didn't one-hit him. 2200 score. That's excellent though. And the damage done was pretty decent as well. So, anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching. PS, one of our guys has 74 score. The enemy team has a 94 score, so I guess it's even.